Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Cold Blood Creations. Today we're going to show you some behind the scenes of actually breeding some of our snakes. Now, today we're going to highlight our milk snakes. We're going to put males and some females together and see if we can get some breeding done, and also some regular cage maintenance. Now, we've had some requests, you guys that want to come behind the scenes and just see the regular day in, day out stuff that we do. Basically, this is the way we do things. It doesn't mean this is the only way to do things, doesn't mean it's the best way to do things, just means it's our way of doing things. Now, one of the things that we do, of course, we keep our snakes in rack systems, and as you can see here behind me, we have a list of all of our milk snakes in this particular rack. We have all of our females and all of our males. We kind of have them paired up. We take some notes that kind of allows us to know what we could possibly get by breeding this male to this female and so forth. So one of the things that we do is we come along here and we'll decide on a female, like this female anery milk snake. This is a Honduran milk, it's an anery. And then we've got this little male right here. Now, he is double hit for snow, which means that he can produce the aneries. So we're going to put them together. Now, you'll notice there's no water bowl in this cage, and the reason why we don't have a water bowl in here is because we don't want them to hide underneath the water bowl, which they will do. So once we select our male that we're going to put with a particular female, we will remove the water bowl from the female's cage. We will put her water bowl into his cage like so. So you have each of their water bowls. Then we have these little clips, and on these cages we have clips that tells us which snake is in which cage. For instance, this little Honduran, his name is M&M. My daughters who work with me, they believe in naming every one of our reptiles. So they named this little guy here M&M. And we're going to put them together, set them in the rack right here, like so. And we've got both clips on there, that way we know where that male's at. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to pull this out, and we're going to remove the water bowl. Now, we're going to spot clean this cage because there is a little bit of poo in here, so we'll take a paper towel, tear it in half. And we'll just scoop that out of there. We'll put it over here, make sure there's nothing else in the cage, make sure she's nice and clean. Now we'll leave her water bowl out, and we're going to choose a male. In this case, I think I want to go with this male here. Now his name is S'mores, kind of like the campfire dessert, s'mores. And when you see this guy, you'll see why my girls nicknamed him S'mores. And he also is a Honduran milk. We're going to put these two together. We may put on a little romantic music, maybe some candlelight. Let these two spend an evening together and put them right here like so. Now, again, we'll put this water bowl into this cage just so we can have somewhat of a record as to what males and females are together and so forth. Now, one of the things that you'll see, if you come up close right here and you'll look on our different cages, we have a couple different stickers. After we bring our snakes out of hibernation, we wait for the first shed. Now, usually the first, sometimes the second shed, after you bring your snakes out of hibernation. Once that shed takes place, we put a sticker on there that says ready to breed. That lets us know that this particular animal has already had its post-hibernation shed and it's ready to breed. The next sticker you'll notice on our cages is these right here. Now, this tells us how many times this particular month an animal's fed. For instance, this month is April. This animal fed it fed probably March the 29th. So we just put a 0 there on the 4th, 10th, the 19th, and the 23rd. And once our animals have bred, we put these little pink stickers on. It gives us the date that we saw the copulation and the name of the snake that that particular female bred with. That's the way we're able to keep up with our records and know who bred who and when, and to begin to know when we need to look for eggs, which is approximately 39 days from the time you see copulation, you should be getting some eggs. So we're going to go on now. I'm going to take a look at this female. This is a Nelson's female, and she is ready to breed, as an indication by the sticker on her cage. She has already had her shed. We'll remove her water bowl, put her back here. Now we need to find a male that is worthy of breeding with her, and I think we found him right here. His name is Rocky. We're going to actually clean Rocky's cage because we see we need it. Now we clean our cages on a weekly basis, but we also clean them on a as needed basis. We'll go ahead and remove Rocky here. We'll remove his tag. We're going to put him in this cage, and we're going to let him breed with her. We'll put this clip on here, and then we will service his cage while we're waiting on them to hopefully do their thing. So you guys, we're going to give it a few minutes. We'll come back and see if we got any breeding action going on in this cage. And give us just a second. We'll be right back. Hey, all right, we're going to come back in now. We're going to just kind of check these. If you'll come here just a sec. Let's just take a look and see if we have any copulation. Now, in my experience, milk snakes are somewhat secretive breeders. So I don't really expect that we're going to see anything, and appears that my suspicions are confirmed. I'm not seeing anything. Almost every year I hardly ever see any of our milk snakes breed, but yet they produce eggs. But something I want to show you guys, one of the questions that we get asked is, how do we know if a female's pregnant? Now I'm going to show you something real quick, and we're actually going to use this female Desert King right here to demonstrate. Now this female right here, she actually bred. This is a Desert King, and she has bred with one of our male Desert Kings. Now this particular female we're always really excited about. Some years she actually throws patternless Desert Kings. Some years she throws albinos. Now last year we were pretty disappointed. We didn't get one albino. We did not get one patternless king, and we were really hoping for those because 2 years in a row we produced a patternless. And anyway, so this year we're hoping for an albino, for a patternless. We're always high hopes with this particular female. But if you take a look at her up close here, one of the reasons that we can tell is if you'll look at the body. She looks normal, just like she does all year. We keep our snakes pretty well fed. But as you get about halfway through the body, you see how she kind of takes on the appearance. Best way I know to describe it is to say she looks like a stuffed sausage. Now, another little trick that you can do is to actually remove the female. Now, you want to handle her gently because she literally is just bulging at the sides. You can look at the sides of the snake and you'll see how the scales somewhat separate. That usually only happens if a snake has eaten a meal that's way too large for it. But when it occurs halfway down the body, that's a sure sign that this particular animal is gravid, has eggs inside of her. Now, I want to show you a little something else that you can do. I'm gonna put this cage back in the rack. And you guys watch this real quick. I want to show you a little trick. Sometimes you can actually count the number of eggs that a female has inside of her. Now the way we do that is very carefully. We want to remove her from the cage once again. And we're going to slide her cage in because what we want her to do is to actually crawl in across my fingertips. She's going to move across my fingertips. I'm putting a little bit of pressure on her back. Now as she moves, I'm counting the eggs that are inside of her stomach. I can actually feel them crossing my hand. Sort of like a little bumps. It feels like you're pulling a string of pearls across your hand. As she crawls back into the cage, you get this sort of bump, 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 bump sensation. Again, it feels like pulling a string of pearls across your hand. And if you just apply gentle pressure to the stomach, when they crawl back in the cage, you can feel that. Now, sometimes that'll give you at least a pretty accurate estimation of how many eggs that female is going to lay. I'm not going to tell you how many eggs I think she's going to lay, because we may continue to do our Facebook contest this year. The way that works is one of our females begins laying eggs. We post a short video clip of that on Facebook, and then we take guesses as to how many ultimate eggs, how many eggs they're ultimately going to lay. The first person that correctly guessed the number of eggs that the snake lays will win a prize. So we may do that. I think I've got a pretty good idea how many she's going to lay, but we'll wait. We'll save that for the contest. Hey, you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe down below. Also be sure to like our page on Facebook, and that way you can be kept up to date on the contest and everything. So we appreciate you guys watching. Thank you, and y'all have a great day.